Hare Krishna. I'm reading the translation once again. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet, like sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So here we see, after discussing do's and don'ts, how important is to control our senses, how important is association, how important is to also de-associate or be away from a group of people, and what are the requirements to grow and what can bring you down in bhakti. And then also knowing, if I have to associate with devotees, how do I associate? Everybody is chanting, everybody is doing service. On how do you categorize devotees? On their mood and on their seva. And then we also have seen devotees, pure devotees. Who are pure devotees? So the previous two texts, the previous 2 weeks, we saw different classes of devotees and the features and characteristics of a pure devotee. Now, after that, Rupa Goswami is writing, you have taken association. You are, you know, doing services. But what can develop your faith? He's saying here in this text, he says that holy name, holy name can only do this. And we gave the topic of this session as the disease and the cure. So this text, if you see, Prabhupada also writes about jaundice. He explains it in throughout the purport also, that how one has to get cured from out of the illness or out of the current condition, diseased condition. So we have put this topic like this: the disease and the cure. So the disease is ignorance. Srila Prabhupada writes here, that's the disease. And ignorance of what? We are still in our bodily conception of life. We do not, even after reading, even after hearing, or even after associating and chanting, regularly coming, at times we forget, or at times, even after knowing all these things, we stick on to materialistic activities. We still have attachments. We still are not completely convinced that my only designation is that I am the servant of Krishna. I have to serve Krishna. That is still not firmly established within our hearts. So we try to give this body a lot of comfort, and all that we are trying to do on a day-to-day activities or on or anything for, we have to, we only think that it is for my bodily pleasure. If my body is allow me to do this, I may not be able to lift it. Let me not do that seva. I may not be able to give time. I'll not go for that seva. Something is very difficult, something is very simple. So categorizing it on your bodily level. My body can do this, my body can't do this, like that. Or even sometimes I don't know that seva, like that. Just on things, on the limited knowledge that we have. In that way, we just step back. So the problem, the disease, the whole disease here is the material conception of life. And Srila, and we have here one shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is Kamasya Nenendriya Pritir Labho Jivite Yavata Jivasya Tattva Jignasha Narotha Yas Cheha Karma Karam Vidhi. So the translation is, life's desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Or one second, because Vele Koreani. I'm so sorry. Kid is around here making some noise. So yes. So the bodily conception of life, it's not only related to seva. Even outside, when we are in the outside world, we always think, that I have to do more. Not only devotees, even non-devotees, what are they running for on their day-to-day life? They want to get to a better lifestyle. They just don't want a simple life. They want to keep becoming better, but in a false way. They want to have a big house, big car. Maybe they have one car and one house. That is not enough. They endeavor for more, and then they're still not satisfied. Then they have kids. They want to give kids education. They want the kids to get married, their kids to have kids, and still they don't want. They're not satisfied. So in this way, we develop our attachments. So that is the disease. First thing is, after coming into this material world, we are stuck here. We don't understand that, and we also do things repeatedly that will keep us holding here. It will not let us go. You keep doing things repeatedly again and again. So how can you come out of it? What should you be doing? The only thing that you should be doing, you should desire for a healthy life. Not that I will not do anything, I'll give up everything. That's not the mood that a devotee serves. The devotee serves the Lord, comes to the temple, continues his japa, his sadhana, his required seva. Along with that, he also does some activity to keep his body and life together, to give him some basic needs to be fulfilled, but does not over endeavor. So ignorance, that is the main disease. And what are the how can you get rid of it? So we will discuss that in few minutes. So no knowledge of super soul and jiva at first place. For people in general, they do not know what a living entity is. I am not this body, I'm a spirit soul. Then there is a super soul. My designation is to only serve him. So they don't understand this point. They only think, if we go address anybody and if we ask somebody who you are, they may just call by their designation, or from which family they are, from which state they are, or from which tradition they are. Only that. They do not say, I'm the servant of Krishna. I'm here to serve devotees. Nothing like that. Nothing comes from their mind like that. So that is the diseased condition, Srila Prabhupada writes in the purports. And living a life of materialistic desires is the disease. And not only living, but also the desire to live in a materialistic way of life is also a diseased condition. Even after knowing so many things about the holy name, about the differences, if you think, oh, that person outside is living better than me, I may have to, little endeavor to become like that. And then after a certain point, take up to this practice. Even that desire, is a diseased condition. So you have to develop a complete faith that this process will help me get closer to Krishna. That is that solution we are going to see. How can you completely come out of it? So Srila Prabhupada, in the entire purport, you all can read later, he divides very nicely. He writes the first few paragraphs or the half of the purport, he writes about the disease. What is holding us here? What are we doing wrong? And then Srila Prabhupada gives the solution at the later part. So the living entities attach too much to the external features of Maya, not attached to Krishna. So there are two things, always when we discuss, we say that there is one dark side and there is one bright side, which is Krishna. The bright side is Krishna, the dark side is Maya. So you can be in either of it, not in both. So you should be careful where you want to be. So these desires are very, very troublesome. We think that I'm just thinking to be a better person tomorrow. So it'll be beautiful. My life will become perfect. My life will look very nice. So that's the diseased condition. So that's how things started. People were living happily in villages, doing their own crop, milking the cows, having fresh water, growing their own vegetables. Very simple life. Prabhupada always appreciated that life. Very simple life. But man thought, no, villages, and in village, people have acres of land. Most of you are very elderly to me, and you would know in your native places, all of you have acres of land. But man was not happy with it. He wanted more. So he said, let's go to the city. We live there so that we can make some money. We'll get some more benefits. We'll get more comforts. Thinking that way wrongly, he moved to city, and there he was living in acres of land. Here he's trying to live in a 600 square feet, 1200 square feet, or maximum 2000 square feet. That's the richest man here, 2000 square feet. And then there, fresh water, milk, freshly grown fruits and vegetables. But here, pollution, because we wanted to transport all of those fruits, vegetables, and things to the city so it can feed so many people. And where maybe 1 lakh people can stay, there 1 crore people are staying. That's how they increase industries to produce steel, cement, and so many other things. People are moving to cities, just to get a little more money, thinking that they will be comfortable, but they have left behind a lot of things. This is just an example, just to analyze how this diseased condition is there in us. We think some change will bring some better thing to my life, but we have created problem. We don't live in a comfortable place. We live in a polluted place because we have gotten all the industries. We have gotten more vehicles for transport. We have increased the cost. We've increased everything, and then um, this place is not very comfortable. But we ourselves are in illusion that this place is the most comfortable place. I have all facilities here. We are convincing ourselves day to day, day by day. There are many people who always think, why can't I go back to my grandparents' place or mother's place, or a native if you have. Many people think like that, or many people will be working in that way also. 10 years I will work, and after 10 years I will move back to village life. Or they will say retirement there only, very peaceful. That way people will think. But very sadly, this 10-year never gets over. This 50-year also never gets over. They don't want to resign also, sometimes, because there is so much commitment. You keep desiring, that desire keeps developing. You think, okay, I will be here another few years until my kid gets graduated, then until my kids get married, then until my kids get a kid, grandson. I will live with them. This life is very comfortable. Then working around insurances, policies, returns. Just the mind is so conditioned to running around only money, or running around only um, external things that can satisfy the body but not the soul. So Prabhupada writes about this, and Prabhupada talks about this in most of his lectures also. He says for all economic problem, there is one solution. If you have a piece of land and if you have cows, your economic problems are resolved. But people make it more complicated. So that I just wanted to put that image here. And then the problem keeps developing. Ways of looking at your problem is, first thing is, you didn't see yourself as a spiritual. You saw yourself as a body, and you're conditioned to it. And then your desires, you think you want more, but that more will make you more sick. You are just going around and around, or you're just stuck in that one thing. You wanted money, you wanted better life, you still want better life at every point of life. Even if you move to that, you say today I earn 10, tomorrow I want a 50,000, and even after going to 50,000 you're not satisfied. You want to earn more and more. So how small your mind has become. It is not thinking beyond bodily comfort. Why do you want money? Why do you want to move to cities? Just to give bodily comfort. Make better lifestyle, thinking that way, but the life never becomes better, like that. So Prahlad Maharaj says in Srimad Bhagavatam, when he talks to his father, he says, because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused, either by the instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. So, desire is a problem. Desire is a problem when it is material, when it's for the body. and they want to just enjoy, because the senses are uncontrolled. So Prahlad Maharaj says that's the way to hell. And what are we doing when we spoke of how we want to get better, but we are still stuck at a not got to a better place? That is repeatedly chewing the chewed. There is no taste. We have come there, we have chewed it, but there is nothing. You want better, you want more taste, you want more taste, but you're not chewing the right thing. You're chewing something which is chewed. There is no juice, there is no flavor, nothing. So that's the problem. There's another one. This Prabhupada writes about leaders in this purport. Not only normal people, not only normal people think that I am running around these things, but learned people also.
What
Learned
is
people,
this?
leaders. Somebody asked something. Okay. So the leaders also in the society, they are conditioned. They don't know what is the purpose of life, what is the goal of life. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. So they do not understand, first of all, I am Jiva. Then they don't know who God is. They just directly recognize themselves to be the body, to be the boss of a particular city, state, country. So they just want to go on, they just want respect from people, they just are being carried away. So you should always uh, think, that you are in a diseased condition. If you think, no, I am not, I'm comfortable, I'm completely fine, if you think in that way and go on, then there is no way to improve. We are going to be chewing the chew. We are going to be we are going to be stuck. So this is a problem. So we have to give some resolution. So the problem is ignorance of not knowing I'm the spirit soul, and not knowing the Lord, not knowing the identity of what is my designation, and along with that, desires. So when we talk about desires, we are talking about um, these things. So bodily consciousness and spiritual consciousness, there's difference, no? So bodily conception is always you have sense gratification, you want to give more pleasure to your body. But spiritual consciousness is service to Krishna and for his pleasure. And then bodily conception, there's lust. So when there is lust, you just want to satisfy your senses. But in spiritual terms, we call it loving service to Krishna, loving Krishna. Here in bodily consciousness, you just want to eat, drink, enjoy, do nothing else. But in spiritual consciousness, there comes selflessness. You want to serve, lovingly serve. Serve whom? Serve Krishna and serve Krishna's devotees. These two things are different. And then bodily consciousness, hook or crook, win. I have to be dominated. Everybody has to appreciate me. I have to be good. It could be bad, it could be putting somebody into trouble, or it could create somebody's bad image and put my good image. So that's bodily conception. It's not very prominent. We may not be doing it every day, but in a very subtle way, we keep doing it, some or the other way. Even I'm saying always, because we're still in that bodily consciousness. But for a person who's in a very spiritual consciousness, that person is very honest, is very truthful. It's okay for that person to get criticized. And when that person gets criticized, that person would also not justify front of their senior. They would not even open their mouth and say, I didn't do that mistake, that person did that mistake. They don't tell all that. They're very honest, they're very truthful. And then they're very submissive, they're very humble. So we see that two examples. Duryodhana, if you see all these characteristics of the bodily consciousness he had, he wanted to gratify his senses. He had lust. What is lust? Is just one step below greed. But actually Duryodhana had greed. He wanted, he just didn't, was not enough with whatever he would get of his share. He wanted the Pandavas share also. So he was greedy. But yeah, lust also. He had lust for enjoying. all these things, hook or crook, he wanted to win. He didn't want, he wanted to kill them. He wanted to put them in trouble. Some way he wanted to establish himself to be the enjoyer. But spiritual consciousness, we take example of Yudhishthira Maharaj, who was always following the orders of Krishna, wanting to serve, was selfless, loving, and he was also honest and truthful. So these examples, we can see how different they are. So this is the issue. The bodily consciousness is the issue. The spiritual consciousness is kind of a solution. And then we see here, I'll come to the next slide later. So bodily consciousness means we are away from Krishna. We have turned away ourselves from Krishna. And spiritual consciousness means we are going towards Krishna, or we are very close. We are getting closer to Krishna. It's not that we have already reached Krishna, but we are getting closer to Krishna. So we have to turn ourselves to Krishna. That is very important. Turn towards Krishna and walk towards Krishna. That will come when you put small efforts to develop your spiritual consciousness. And then the most important thing is chanting. So this entire shloka, Prabhupada writes about the medicine, which is chanting of the holy name. Yes. So how can chanting help? There are so many references. All of you are chanting, all of you are very convinced that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the Yuga Dharma, and by chanting that, I will be elevated, I will go back home, back to Godhead. All that we know. But at what stage are we chanting? So, these discussions from NOI are so nice for devotees who know some basics, because we are not satisfied with where we are. We want to improve ourselves to a better state of life, a better stage of, our spiritual life. So here we have three categories of chanting. All of us are chanting, right? Everybody, all of you are chanting. So at what stage are we there? That is important to identify, and we have to start working towards that also. The first thing is nama parada. You're chanting, but you're chanting with offenses. Offensive chanting of holy name, or chanting of the holy name which is subject to the 10 kinds of nama parada. So you all know what are the 10 offenses. All of you will read during the morning morning program. Before you chant, even if you're not attending the morning program, before you start chanting, it's a good practice. You recite the Shikshashtakam prayers, you sit down. If you've memorized, this is good, but if not, you can sit, put it on a paper, read, because chanting is calling Radha and Krishna, calling them to engage us in their devotional service. So when you're calling Radha and Krishna, so how attentive and how careful you should be. So you have to prepare your mind for it. So we should avoid these 10 offenses. Blaspheming devotees who have dedicated their life to propagating the holy name of the Lord, considering the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to Lord Vishnu's name, disobeying the spiritual master, considering the Vedic scriptures just to be written and is not strong enough to convert somebody's heart, transform somebody's heart, considering the glories of Hare Krishna to be an imagination, to give some interpretation of the holy name by ourselves. No, Srila Prabhupada has told Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting is addressing the energy of the Lord, calling the energy of the Lord, whom is Srimati Radharani, to engage us in Krishna's service. So that's the meaning, the simple meaning of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So we should not change it. We should not interpret in our way, in what way we want it to be interpreted. Then commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, thinking that holy name is very strong. That holy name is so powerful that even Vedas don't have enough space to glorify the holy name. Everywhere, so much the importance is given to chant the Lord's name, because we keep telling the Lord's name, form, qualities, and pastimes, they're all non-different. So we say that, and on that, if I chant everything, even the bad karma, or even all those reactions of those karma will be like how roasted seeds cannot germinate, they can't grow. So like that, everything is burned into ashes. All that, even if you could think that you could commit sins, so many sins are just washed away. But you should, with that thinking, you should not chant the holy name. Thinking I'm chanting, I can still commit sins. All my sins are going to be washed away. In that way, if you think and chant, you should not be chanting. And then considering the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra to be one of the ritualistic activities. Every day I have to chant just for the day to go good, or I have to achieve something. If I chant, Krishna will give this. Not with that mood. We are chanting because the meaning of the mantra is to engage us in the service of the Lord. So you have to pay attention. You're not considering it as an auspicious ritualistic activity. You are considering it to be your goal, that you want to serve somebody and you are requesting that person to please engage. So it is your purpose and goal of your life. So you should not think that it is just a ritualistic activity every day, couple of rounds or some number of rounds, fixed number of rounds I'm doing, I'm done for the day. You don't think like that. And then to instruct faithless people about the glories of holy name. Somebody is an offender. Not everybody would accept. So somebody is not interested. You don't talk much about it to them. And then to have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and maintain material attachment is also an offense. So that is what we are talking about. The final one, the most important one, no, material attachments. So nama aparad. So if even if we are doing one of these things, then we are still stuck in nama aparad. So this happens usually during the neophyte stage, or as soon as you start chanting initially. We may be inattentive. Most of the times we are inattentive, or we're thinking of something, or we think, oh, it is a ritualistic practice. It's very auspicious practice, like that. Either of it, not all, maybe at sometimes, but some we think uh, we commit one of these. So that is Namaparad stage. Then slowly the next state one goes is Namabhas, which is the stage of chanting in which one is becoming cleared of sins and offenses. The clearing of the sins and offenses is gone, but has not yet attained pure chanting. He's there almost half the way or on the way. By serving the spiritual master with full attention while chanting Namabhas, one gradually rises to the platform of Shuddhanam. So this stage is after initiation. So one receives the mantra from the Guru and then serves the Guru under this Guru's instruction, and also is moving, progressing. The stage of chanting in which one is becoming cleared of sinful activities and offenses, but not attain the purest stage of chanting. So it's a corrective stage. You're purifying. You're slowly giving away, making sure you're not committing any of the offenses, being very careful, being very attentive. So this is very, very important, because any action you do in the outside world, you're very careful usually. Let it be a simple cooking. You're very conscious. When the next ingredient has to go, when salt has to go, when chili has to go, to balance the flavor, to make it a nice ingredient, to make it a nice preparation. When what has to go. So you put so much care and attention when you have to paint, when you have to decorate, when you have to talk to somebody, so much attention and care we give. But when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, calling out for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, how much care are we giving? That's a question. So we have to make it a habit, make it a practice that you try your best to, when you're chanting, there's no other distraction. You're focused only on your chanting. It's not that Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, and then scrolling phone or doing some other activity. No, chanting is meant, that's your space with Krishna. So at least basic things, first initial days, we may have to start doing this, not get deviated, try to say, keep the phone on silent, or just keeping your data off, just putting your phone aside, making sure you don't have any other engagement, and giving a very particular time for your chanting. It's not that throughout the day I can finish my rounds. So I finished office, I just came, I had dinner, and before going to sleep, you finish your rounds and sleep. No, you have to, and that shows on what we have priority. So Krishna and Krishna's service is our priority. So we have to do it in the first thing in the morning. So first thing, that is important. So keep a very special time for your chanting. Do not drag it throughout the day. One of my counselors used to say, I used to come back from college, I used to chant. Morning before going to college, I used to come to the temple to take darshan. I used to chant. So Prabhu will come laughingly. Prabhu will ask, from morning you've been rolling that beat. How many rounds are you chanting? It's supposed to get finished in that morning program hour, 2 hours. If you're woken up on time, then you're finishing your rounds. If you're lazy, if you are just dragging your sleep, want to sleep more, give more pleasure to your body, then your chanting drags the whole day. But if not, you would have finished your chanting in the morning hour. So you have to make sure that you finish your rounds in the morning. It's not like you come for seva, we come to seva for the temple, and in between we are chanting. One hand chanting bag, the other hand holding mic or mats or cutting vegetables. How does it look when you're doing aarti for the Lord? If you're doing something else, it's not nice, no? If some pujari is showing aarti, but also simultaneously talking to somebody, it is not nice. You have to give attention to that seva that you're doing. So similarly, when you're chanting, you're actually calling for the Lord, and at that time, when you call Krishna, Krishna is actually turning. Krishna is actually looking at you and asking, or anything can be there between you and Krishna. But that time you are parallelly doing something else. So it shows how. Um, uh, what level of importance we give for Krishna's name. So you should make sure that you give a specific time for chanting and trying to avoid these offenses. Not everything at once. Maybe it may be too much. Maybe one by one, working out on one of the offenses. Making sure that at least this month or this day I will try to be very attentive. At least hearing all the mantras that I chant on my beads. Most of us may not be doing that. No, when we start, maybe first round we are very attentive. Second round, half the round, and by the time we finish our 16 rounds, maybe we are hearing only one or two mantras in that whole. It happens sometimes, not maybe not for everybody, but some people like me, it happens. You just scroll your beads, scroll your beads, you're lost in thoughts. Cooking is coming to your mind, the next office work, so many things are coming. But you should make sure. That's why morning hours, when nobody's awake, when you're alone, when you chant, that gives you so much of faith on the process itself. You feel good. You feel very nice about it, that you've done your chanting. That is still, not pure chanting. Not the good feeling good and all not all that. Yeah, but still, that is nice. So you feel very good. So that is one stage. So I was just giving you some tips. And then you also have to keep it ready, keep things ready. It's not that you woke up in the morning, then realize, oh, yesterday I went to the temple, I forgot my chanting back there. I can't chant today. Maybe I'll chant my rounds tomorrow together after getting the bead bag, or I'll go to temple in the evening. No, nothing. Every day when you are going to sleep, you plan your morning routine. Maybe if you want to do reading, what book are you reading? If you are chanting, your asan, everything has to be ready. Our book distributor, the famous book distributor, Vaishashika Prabhu, he's also an initiating guru in ISKCON. Prabhu says that every day before going to sleep, he keeps his asan ready for morning chanting. He keeps his dress, he keeps his books, he keeps his papers ready, what classes he's going to present, where if he's going to his personal work, he would keep some sheets ready for shloka memorization, or whatever he has day-to-day routine. He plans it a day before. It's not that morning hour we sit and chant 2 hours, and in that 2 hours we plan our whole day. That should not be there. We make a quick plan for tomorrow, today only, before you going to sleep, like that. So these small things can help you move up. So these are all practical things. So then, Shuddhanam, the pure state of chanting, where Krishna fully reveals himself to you. And Shuddhanam can be achieved by taking name with a favorable attitude, while remaining free from all material desires and from covering coverings of jnana, karma, and so on. Yeah, nothing else is there. Your only thing is Krishna. There's no other desire. There's no other motive. Nothing else. Only Krishna. Only serving Krishna. That's the thing. So that's where we are. So we can ourselves know where we are, in which state, and how you can move further. So that you have to work on. And I was talking about this thing, lust. So we know how bad it is. So many times people say, oh no, you are chanting and you still get angry. You're going to Krishna temple, you still get angry. And you should not be getting this. So they start comparing you, start judging you. So this is there inside somewhere. So Prabhupada writes in his purports, not in this one, but in Bhagavad Gita purport. So last is adamant desire for something that is prohibited. So that is there in us. We have to accept. And that lust, when satisfied, can turn into greed. So once you have got it, now you have enjoyed, you have got some taste, so you want to do it again, do it again, do it again and again. So but that is greed. So it comes kama, lobha, and then krodha. Lust not satisfied becomes anger. If it's satisfied, it becomes greed, and if it's not satisfied, it becomes anger. So the solution to all of this is, you have to reduce these things. And to reduce these things, what you have to do, you have to change your adamant desire for something that is prohibited to a desire which is only for Krishna. And how you will do it is by association. So chanting the name of the Lord, hearing the fame of the Lord is very important. That can change. Chanting we are doing, but our chanting is subject to all these things, which all the 10 offenses. But we have to hear. The another solution for this is hearing the fame of Lord Krishna from devotees. So that is from Srila Prabhupada, hearing the Bhagavatam program in the temple. By hearing regularly about Krishna, our heart gets cleansed. Your heart would your material desires, your desires to satisfy your senses will change into service for Krishna, desire to serve for Krishna, desire to only give pleasure to Krishna. You'll become selfless. You'll become, you want to do loving service. So that will develop in you. And all these things you have to do in a very prayerful way. One more important thing is, it's not that chanting very loud or I'm chanting within my mind. There are various ways you do chanting, but this should be very prayerful. It's not just, oh, I've asked to do it, I will finish it. No, you have to do it in a very prayerful way. So there are many bhajans, many songs. So there's one song called Hari Hari Bifale. In that it says how this holy name, the sound vibration is from Goloka Vrindavan. It's not anything material. Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes are not different, we say. So Krishna is in the spiritual world. So Krishna's name is also from the spiritual world. So it has come down, it has descended down. Golokera Premadhana Harinama Sankirtana. That's what Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his song. So this sound vibration is not just a material sound vibration. It is directly from the spiritual world. Then imagine how it could transform your heart. That is very nice. So you have to understand. So you have to take up some Vaishnava bhajans, like Bhaja Hure Mana, Srinanda Nandana, Abhaya Charana Ravindare. So all these prayers that these acharyas have written will help you, get a little focus towards chanting. Not just this, but many songs. Like we have Kevalashtakam, how it shows the importance of the holy name, importance of chanting. So maybe you all can take it up as an homework, or you all can also, to learn bhajans, you all can do this Kevalashtakam. Just make note. It starts with Madhuram Madhure Bhyobi Yobi. So it says how important the holy name is, how you're dependent on the holy name. So like that. So these bhajans can help you. And this material world, you have to know, as far as we are here, we are going to be deceased. So we have to know, how can I come out of it? The solution. The solution is we got. So Prabhupada gave this example. We didn't very detailedly talk because many a times you'll have heard this example. Prabhupada talking in his lectures, Prabhupada writing it in many of his purports, and from devotees also, that somebody who has jaundice, for him sugar candy or sugarcane juice is bitter, but regularly taking it, he's cured from his disease. So similarly, initially chanting of the holy name may be not very pleasing. It may be very tiring. You may not want to do it. But as slowly when you take up, when you keep doing it, when you keep doing it, when you keep doing it, you develop the taste. You will start experiencing how sweet it is. So as far as you're in the material world, you are bound to be deceased. But if you have to get out of the disease, you have to take medicine, and the medicine is the holy name. And who's the doctor? Shri Guru. So you have to take medicine per the prescription. How much to take, when to take, what to take, and which one to take. You can't just chant any name. So that's why Hare Krishna Mahamantra is given to us. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We don't chant any random names of the Lord. The Lord has a number of names. So we don't call by all his names. We do, of course, chant, the 108 names every day in the morning when we do Archana. So many times we chant the different names of the Lord, but prescribed for helping us progress. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is being given by the Acharya, by the Guru Parampara. So we, per the Guru Parampara are the doctors, no? The doctor, per the doctor's prescription, you have to take the medicine and consider this material world. So don't develop a hate towards the material world, because every time we talk, this is a place of misery, this is a place of, duality. We say this is a place of bad people, asuric people. So you should not start hating the place also, because you treat this to be a place of hospital. Like hospital, everybody is deceased. I am also deceased. Other person is also deceased. Everybody is deceased. Everybody has some problem. Just because my problem is very little, I should not hate everybody. So you have to consider it to be hospital, and everybody can get a chance to get treated, to get cured, and walk out of this place. So in that way, because even all of you are going for book distribution, that's the way you all see. You all don't see somebody very bad. You look at him as a devotee. He as a possible devotee in the future and distribute books. You see, oh nice, this person, if he takes a book, if he reads, and if he understands a little message from Krishna, and then he will become Krishna's devotee. So you see that he is conditioned, he is deceased, but by this little medicine that you're giving, he may be cured. So like that. So we are not the medicine, we are just carrying the medicine. So the medicine is the holy name, medicine is the scriptures, and it goes through the Guru. So that one we have to be very mindful that I am not doing it. uh, Guru and Krishna are doing it through me, and we should be very uh, happy that Krishna is engaging us in such a service, and at the same time, not being like comfortable. Like, yes, I'm very happy. Everything is going fine. No, there are problems. Devotees also face problem, but they are happy that they are at least engaged in Krishna's service, which is not Maya. So they are on the other side, like the shadow and the light. If you're there in light, you're not in that dark area. If you're there in the dark area, you're not in the light. You can be only in one place. You can't be in two places at any time. So we have to make note of this. Devotees sometimes think everything is spiritual. I'm in light. They think I'm in light, but end of the day, we are in darkness. We think something is light, but it is not. So you should be very careful what you are doing. And one nice, interesting thing I saw was recently when I saw some people from the West coming down, from US coming here my office seniors, or leaders, you could call. They came here. Very interestingly, what they said is they wanted to eat only vegetarian food. They wanted to go to temples. They wanted to wear Indian dresses and things like that. They're coming towards the culture. So this shows Srila Prabhupada's, because somewhere they've got inspired by somebody practicing. So they want to do it, but we think it's easy to convince Indians. It's easy, but it's actually very difficult. All of you are going for book distribution. You all should be experiencing. They don't want to take a book. They may say just I have a book, or they may say no, we should not have this book at home. It will bring fight. So many reasons they say that they don't want to buy the book. But you see, Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, everybody saw that this books, this holy name, can attract the entire world. Holy name can attract the entire world. So you have to somehow connect this, give this message to people outside. So wonderfully, all of you are doing, very happy for it. So continue doing it. And I did not cover one part of the slide. I'll just, this one, respecting devotees. This is in connection with the previous two verses. So here I will just read the translation. I offer you all respects. This is from Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya prayers, but this will fit into everybody's life. I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then, by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. So, offering respect is very, very important. Maybe we may think that I am chanting, I am doing good, but you are not respecting devotees. That becomes a problem. That is one of the offenses. Considering people who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord, to be ordinary or normal people, or even talking bad about them, will hinder the entire process of chanting. You will lose taste. That's the result if we do that. So we should carry respect. That is the most important thing. It could be anybody who came in yesterday, who have been there for 10, 15 years. To everybody, you have to give respect. But you can, the level of interaction that you have with devotees, the respect may differ. So you will have to respect them so that you can chant very peacefully. If you don't respect, if you have a bad thought of one person in your mind, then your mind will keep running around that same person. Oh, that person did this. Oh, that person did that. Why did that devotee do like this? How could that devotee do like this? So many things will come up. Your entire day will just be stuck in thinking of that person instead of thinking of Krishna when you are chanting. So just respect. You say, oh wow, they're doing nice service, and continue. So that your chanting is not affected. I'm saying because if you don't respect, that will affect your chanting. So if you're able to read it, again, I offer all respects for so that I may have the energy to know you correctly. Then by chanting the holy name in great ecstasy, all my offenses will cease. So you should respect devotees. You should appreciate them, so that you don't have any bad thought about or ill thought about anybody. You just consider every Vaishnava as a worshipable personality. So you can't worship everybody. So you should at least have that mental respect towards everybody, not keeping anybody low, not keeping anybody high. So you see, everybody has servants of Krishna, and then your mind is very free. You are not thinking of anybody, and it can help you in one way to move further. Chant the holy name without any trouble. So anybody has any questions? I will stop here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, you said we got this mantra, Maha Mantra to chant. As a names we are taking, and we should not do any Namaprada. But before we chant, we also say that 5 names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu
Yes.
Nityananda for every round.
Yes.
The importance of that, you can just share some points on that, like along with
Prabhu.
108, every round we take that name, all 5 names.
Yes. So Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the Panchatattva are considered to be the most merciful incarnations because they brought this propaganda. It was not known much bigger. They got this to us. And because why we give this credit to them is, so this pastime, you all know, Jagai Madai pastime, because these two people did not want to respect anybody. Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur had got the service of what all of you are doing, going out and preaching and giving holy name in the form of books, pamphlets that you all are giving. They used to go give holy name. And this people, Jagai and Madai, they were not wanting it. It's not that they were not interested, they didn't talk to them. They also hit Nityananda Prabhu with a earthen pot. And Nityananda Prabhu started bleeding. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who's Mahavishnu himself, invoked his Sudarshan Chakra. I'm telling this pastime in very short. It's a very elaborate pastime. But I'm saying he invoked his Sudarshan Chakra to kill these two people. But Nityananda Prabhu mercifully asked, no, give them a chance. One person hit me, the other person tried to stop him. So they have some good quality in them. Can you forgive them? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately on the request of Nityananda Prabhu said, okay, I forgive you all if you all agree to chant and follow a devotee life. And they got a chance to be a better person, and they never got back to their bad habits. They became one of the nice preachers in the next few weeks or years because they took up to this process. They joined Nityananda Prabhu's team. They expanded this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu and the entire Panch Tattva are very, very, very merciful, Prabhu. So we ask for their mercy to be with us. We know that I'm committing offenses. I may commit offense, but please help me to be away from these offenses. So we ask for their protection. That is why we chant every time this Panchatattva Mahamantra. So I'm just reading from a small snip. I have a book with me, which is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Sharanagati. So in that it says this Panchatattva Mahamantra is greatly beneficial because the holy names of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, and Srivas Thakur, the mantra blesses one with the ability to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra without offenses. So it will help. They will bestow their mercy so that you will not have to commit offense. So that's one of the reason. And then, in case if it happens, he does not consider the offense committed by a fallen soul. By chanting his names, one receives the full benefit of chanting the Mahamantra. It is even said in the Kali Yuga, where so many offenses are committed, the Panchatattva Mahamantra is more important. The answer is that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has instructed us through his personal example to chant Hare Krishna, and we simply follow his order. So we are following Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we call for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, oh my Lord, because you have asked me to chant for your pleasure, I am chanting this. Oh my Lord, I may commit offense, but you please, like how you excuse Jagai and Madai for their mischievous act of, you also please forgive my act. So it's a prayer. So we sometimes don't know that we are doing something. Its meaning we don't know, but thanks for bringing it up, Prabhu. So it's a prayer. Before starting to chant, we ask for the Lord's blessing to chant offenselessly. And if some offenses happen, please consider me to be a very insignificant small kid, and please forgive my offense. Like that. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Nice question.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Anything? So it's all clear.
We want to read once, Prabhuji, then we will get question. Now we have listened to you. On our own reading, we will understand, then we will come back to
Yes,
next.
Mataji.
Because this is little advanced when compared to the first 2 or 3.
I've also been requesting all of you all. Yes. So please read. you all know, because we are going to finish this entire book and then move to our next module. So take time to read so that you will also have doubts when you have read, and maybe the class would answer your doubts. If not, you can ask at end of the session. So we are going to finish all the 11 texts and then move to our next module. So there is some more shlokas left, 4 more. So yes, you all can read. That's a big request. Anything else? Okay. Anybody who wants to add? Prasanna Prabhu is here.
No, all good, bro.
Prabhuji, everything is
Okay.
so well explained. I have no questions to add. But whatever you said, we'll keep that on mind. We'll go ahead in this bhakti process.
Mhm. Anybody else? Abhishek Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji, all clear. Mainly, we have to implement whatever you have said.
You want to add something?
Nothing, Prabhu. Just
Chanting,
follow
Bharat
that.
chanting
Prabhu?
will take a little time to have that concentration and focus. I'm still struggling with that. So I think it may take time for me also.
It's a process. All of us,
Yes.
including me.
Yes. So every day I struggle with that. Yet I feel that yes, one round I'm doing it, but the next round goes off. So even if I do in the Brahma Muhurta, I still struggle in that. I hope one day I will achieve it.
Yes, Madhuri. It's a process. So immediately when you take medicine, you don't get cured. Depending on the severity of your disease, the doctor gives dosage. So maybe you need
Yes.
more dose at times. So you have to go on longer period of dosage, so that one day, yes, you're completely cured. So it's so nice that this holy name, by chanting, you're relieved from your material conception of life. One is that, and you slowly start losing interest in bodily activities. It could be mundane knowledge, mundane opulences, and mundane attractions. All these things slowly go away. These are the signs. If you can see if you're improving, small things is that slowly these things go away from you. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prabhu, one small doubt. One doubt. In the bodily conscious and spiritual conscious, he gave the example of Duryodhana and Yudhishthira Maharaj.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Why not that Arjuna has come into that instead of Yudhishthira Maharaj?
Okay, that is just an example. Yes, you can fit in all the Pandavas because they were devotees of the Lord. You could keep them as devotees of the Lord.
Okay. So we
And I
can
was
take all
hearing
five into
that-
that consideration.
Yes, you can take as many as you wanted to, who can inspire you to have led a wonderful life of devotion.
No. For example, you had said no Yudhishthira Maharaj. So I was just
Yes,
thinking,
yes.
even these
Yes,
people,
yes.
Pandavas, are also entirely they were those
Yes.
pure
All-
devotees, basically.
Yeah, Duryodhana represents the entire clan of their
Correct.
side, and
On the
Yudhishthira
bodily
Maharaj
conscious.
representing the entire clan of this side.
Correct.
We can even think of
Nice.
Ravana in the place of Duryodhana, no, Prabhuji?
Yes, definitely. And this holy name is so nice. It will awaken, it will bring you to life, actually. We would have thought very bad. So if you've not come to the consciousness of the importance of holy name, the Lord's service, we are considered to be dead. Srila Prabhupada usually says that there are three people who are very low. One is who's born out of unplanned births. They have their parents and that kid are low. And then when the kid is born, if the parents don't do any samskara to them, no any samskara, namakarna, annaprasanna, aksharabhyasa, or any samskara, if it's skipped, that kid is also considered to be an aborted kid, because they're not giving that kid any knowledge. Or if they send that kid to a school also, they're giving only material education. Spiritual education is not given. So that kid is considered to be very low. And there is one more thing, that a person who is having every knowledge but lacking spiritual knowledge, he's just walking like that. So different classes of people. So yeah, so by getting to the practice of chanting the holy name, like how when the Sanjeevani was got and just kept near the nose, by its fragrance, life came. So like that, um, just by bringing holy name, the dead consciousness, anybody, it could be in either of these classes that I said, the three classes of low level people, they could come to life, get to know who are they, what is their relationship with Krishna, and get to serve the Lord. So yes. Anything else?